Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of At That Moment. Today, I just wanted to kind of sit down with you and do a chit chat TTC Journey update. I know I've mentioned it a few times in vlogs, and I posted a few infertility tips and videos or things that pair with infertility. I will link them below. But I haven't really talked about my journey. If you are struggling to conceive, it's very, very personal. And normally I'm not that candid, but I kind of debated whether or not I was going to share, if I was going to share, when I was going to share, and what I was going to share. So yeah, and I guess today it just hit me to share. I know I've watched plenty of YouTube videos. I actually follow some YouTubers who is going through the infertility struggle now, and just sometimes reading and following someone else's story can be encouraging. I know everyone's journey is different, so I'm by no means no medical doctor. This is just my experience, my journey, and what I'm going through. So yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, and so our TTC journey, and for those of you who do not know what TTC is, it's trying to conceive. It's just an acronym. But I'm kind of confused with the start date because I technically got off my birth control in January 1st. Our New Year's resolution was to try to start a family. So I got off my birth control then. Once I did that, I was on a patch. Zulon. Once I did that, and I thought it was kind of perfect timing because when I got off of it, I was actually on my menstrual cycle. So I was like, cool. So it's not like I'm in the middle of a pack or in the middle of a cycle. I was right there. My menstrual cycle had come on, and I was due to put on another patch that Sunday, but of course I didn't. So I got off, and I knew somewhat that it takes time for your body to regulate after birth control, but I think I underestimated how much time it takes. And so anyway, let's stay focused. So I got off in January, but I did not have another menstrual cycle at all until I went to the doctor in July. And so throughout that process, I knew something was going on, but I didn't know what. In between those months, January and July, we moved. We moved from Maryland to Florida, so new jobs, new insurance. I was just kind of waiting it out. When we decided to start a family, of course, we was not pressed to have a baby that next month, but we knew sometime through the year 2017 we would be more than happy to get pregnant. And so because we were moving, I was like, whenever we get down to Florida, get settled, my insurance kick in, then I would go to the doctor. We got here, got settled. I really was trying to be super selective with what doctor I went with, more so because I knew what I was struggling with. I knew my background, so I wanted someone who was going to be good. Luckily, I found somebody, but her next new patient appointment wasn't until July. It was like July 22nd, 24th, sometime in there. So I go, tell her what's going on. First thing she says, PCOS. I was like, oh man, but I do know with PCOS, your symptoms can be managed. Your ovaries can actually revert back, and I just knew with lifestyle changes and medications, it wasn't that extreme, which I was very lucky and very blessed. It could have been worse. So When I leave her, she suspects PCOS, of course. She wants me to get a transvaginal ultrasound done and blood work done to confirm. So by the time I did both of them and came back to her, it was August. When I went back to her in August, she said, yep, PCOS, your ovaries are nice and full, but they are a textbook definition of PCOS. I want to induce your period with Provera, and then I want you to start metformin. Cool, good to go. So I left her, did Provera, 10 days, period came on 5 days later, good to go. I was happy that everything was kind of falling into place. So then she sends me back for another transvaginal ultrasound just to kind of see what was going on. At this point in time, I had started taking metformin, and we knew the next step was going to be Clomid. So that was August. It's now September. Before I start Clomid, she wants to see how my ovaries are doing with the metformin, all that good stuff. I go back for my transvaginal ultrasound, and then I go see her again in September, and my ovaries actually reverted back. In between that time, I knew we was trying to conceive. I know I'm a little thick, so we had joined the gym. I was working out 3 days a week. I still am trying to work out 3 days a week, at least 30 minutes of cardio. And if I cannot make it to the gym after we eat dinner, we really try to go on a walk. And so I was doing those things, and at that point I had also changed my diet. I had shifted a lot of carbs, white carbs out, and swapped them with veggies, all that good stuff. It wasn't drastic, but I had started making those changes. And then in between my first appointment in July and by the time I went back in August, I had dropped 12 pounds. So I was happy with my progress so far. I realized a lot of this would take time, which was fine. So fast forward. Did metformin. Of course, if you've ever been on it, then you know the side effects can sometimes be really tough. Excuse me. Got adjusted. Good to go. Then it was time for Clomid. Started Provera again because metformin did not induce or regulate my cycles any. But at this point, I had only been on it for 6 weeks. Sometimes it regulates you right away. I've seen and read plenty of women who say that, but for me, it didn't do that. So I took Provera again, 10 days for my period came on. Period actually came on 2 days after I finished it at this point. Started my Provera, went in for my day 3 labs, went in for my day 10 labs, but when I was supposed to go in for my follicle scan, they had a scheduling error. So I was so devastated that basically I went through 1 round of Clomid, and I don't know if my body responded, how it worked, so forth, because when I went in for my day 21 progesterone draw, it was low. It was 0.9, and if you are trying to conceive, you know you're supposed to at least be at a 15 or higher. So no ovulation happened. At this point, when that happened, we were mid-November. But the thing about that Clomid cycle, we don't know if no ovulation happened because no follicles matured, or what happened during that time. Basically, my first round of Clomid was a fail from observations to answers, so forth. So I'm texting the nurse, text my doctor. They say give it 2 weeks. Of course, take a HPT, and then if it's negative, start Provera. Today is the 8th, I think. We still have not started Provera because it's Christmas. I don't want the pressure of going through a Clomid cycle. We are going home for Christmas. I was like, nope, I've been on metformin about 9 weeks. I'm still on it. I said I'm gonna ride this month out, metformin, and then we can start Club Med cycle 2 in January. So that's kind of where we are. My doctor is going to be extra cautious right now because of the scheduling era, to make sure we get some answers to second cycle. I'm very hopeful because infertility does not run in my family. My mom has 5 kids. My aunts and uncles have plenty of kids. So I know it takes time sometimes. Sometimes people can get pregnant right away. Sometimes it takes others longer. So I am hopeful that 2018 is our year. I've tried not to symptom spot. I've tried to stay off the internet in the month of December. I think sometimes back to my original Clomid cycle around 1, I was on the internet and reading and symptom checking just way too much. I think the anxiety of doing it, something new, and you have no control of your body, especially a person like me that's type A, was different. But December we have pretty much relaxed, had fun, and we'll see what round 2 has in store. We are praying faithfully, and we know everything will happen within God's timing. And so yeah, that's pretty much our TTC journey. Like I said at the beginning, I don't know how often I will update you, where I will update you, but I do know we learn from each other. So I'm going to try. It's super personal, but I'm going to try. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have questions, leave them below. I would love to chat with you. If you're going through the same journey or kind of in the same point of your journey as we are, don't forget to leave a comment below. I would love to kind of chat with you, follow your story. Of course, before you leave, subscribe. And until next time, stars, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Killer workout. I did 15 minutes on a treadmill, 30-minute circuit. It was total body.